This is the 38 square meter 2-room flexi type 1. So let's enter into the unit. Upon entering, the first room I turn to my left is the kitchen. Okay, so this is a very small kitchen. You do your cooking and even your laundry also here. So if I walk in, it only takes about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 walking steps. Okay, and of course over here we have got a stove, and we also have got the kitchen sink. So always remember, from Feng Shui view, the kitchen sink represents the water element and the stove represents the fire element. Now, even though this is not the traditional fire gas stove, we will still consider this to be the fire element. Okay, and from Feng Shui view, fire and water will never mix well together. They will always clash. So I wouldn't recommend you to have this kind of design where the water sink is directly opposite the stove. Okay, if you have got this kind of placement from Feng Shui view, it can cause problems like disharmony among the occupants, or even health problems. Okay, so try to avoid having this kind of water directly opposite the fire element kind of placement. Okay, over here on top is the shelf, and there is additional top shelf here, bottom shelf. Okay, if you happen to have this kind of design where your sink is opposite the gas stove, I would suggest maybe somewhere here you can put a wooden chopstick. Why? A wooden chopstick will represent wood element. Wood element can act as a neutralizing agent between the water and the fire element. Okay, so let's move on. There's a fridge here. Okay, and over here, this is the electrical circuit board. This area here, I can tell you, you can place some additional items here. For example, you can build a rack here to put shoes. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's walk in. Walking in, this next room here is the bathroom. And of course, the first thing I see immediately is the toilet bowl. Not a very nice sight. Traditionally, last time, those olden design, the toilet bowl will be maybe somewhere around this corner area. Okay, if you have got this kind of design, I will always recommend that you always keep your bathroom door closed. Always close the bathroom door. Okay, and always keep the toilet bowl lid down. Why? Because from Feng Shui view, the bathroom is a place where you do all your toileting, your shitting, your urine, and when you bath, all the dirt from your body flows down to the floor. It is a place where there's a lot of unclean, unhygienic things. Okay, these particles can actually float around, linger around the air, and get exposed to the living room. Okay, so you try to always keep the bathroom door closed. Okay, now let's move on. This is the living room. The sofa, and the TV, and you have got a pedestal here. But frankly speaking, I don't like this design. I mean, it looks nice, but you see, you have got a lot of job to do to do the dusting. I wouldn't recommend this. It can create a lot of inconvenience. Okay, but from what I want to comment is that there's no proper place here for you to do your eating, your dining. Okay, I would assume that they put this table. I think this is considered to be a foldable table. I guess that you want to do it this way, where you sit down on a sofa, and when you want to eat your food, you open this dining table to eat your meals. Personally, for me, I would prefer to have at least a proper place or a corner or an area for dining. Okay, so if I have a choice, I will put this dining table on this corner here. Okay, so that it represents a proper place for dining and eating. Okay, and of course, if I happen to have the dining table here, I will always keep this bathroom door closed. Okay, So let's move on. This is the bedroom. Okay, the bedroom, you have a queen size bed over here. Okay, so one good thing is that if I step in, there's actually there's still some walking space here and here. Okay, so always remember, it is not good to have a very cramped bedroom. Some walking space is good, and the bed is against a solid wall. So in Feng Shui, this represents stability. Okay, 靠山. It is always good to have the head area of the bed against a solid wall. Okay. One thing I had to comment is about the mirror. Okay, this is something like a full height, not really full height lah, but it's a very long mirror. Okay, so in the bedroom, it is always best not to have too much mirror, because when you wake up and you see your own reflection, especially in the middle of the night, if you happen to wake up and see your own reflection, can you imagine, maybe sometimes it's not very good. So, but luckily this mirror is not facing against the bed, so you might not see yourself. Okay, alright, then this is a full height wardrobe here. The full height wardrobe from the floor all the way to the ceiling. Okay, now when it comes to the wardrobe, Feng Shui also have got advice. Okay, it's important to make sure that whatever things that you keep in the wardrobe, okay, please keep it always neat and tidy, and try your best to have zero clutter. Try not to have too much clutter in your wardrobe. Okay, over here, this is a small bedside table. Okay, this is not a real plant, this is an artificial plant. Okay, but just remember, in a bedroom, try not to have plants, because plants represents yang energy. In a bedroom, which is supposed to be a place for rest, relaxation, okay, it's not nice to have so many yang energy inside the bedroom. If you want to have real plants, I would suggest you put them into the living room. Okay, so like for example, this corner here, in case if this is a real plant lah. Okay, alright, so this is my personal opinion of this 38 square meter unit. Okay, thank you for watching this video.